It was a freezing night in the Arizona desert, 15 years ago to the day, December 30th, 2010. The wind carried whispers no one wanted to hear. A small group of migrants, led by a man named Javier Ruiz, slipped across the border under cover of darkness. They weren't just fleeing poverty, they were carrying something far more dangerous, a secret that could bring empires to their knees. Javier Ruiz, 32 years old, born in Culiacan, Mexico, looked like an ordinary mechanic, calloused hands, a quiet smile. But Javier was anything but ordinary. He had worked as a double agent for the DEA, deep inside the Sinaloa cartel. His code name, El Fantasma, the Ghost, because he moved like a shadow, gathering intelligence on smuggling routes that reached straight into American cities, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Chicago. That night, Javier promised the 12 people with him a new life in the United States. Among them were women, children, and an engineer named Carlos Mendoza, a man carrying encrypted files that exposed corruption at the highest levels of the cartel. They crossed the Rio Grande under a treacherous full moon. Javier assured them safety waited on the other side, a ranch in Arizona, a vehicle, new identities. But at 2:17 a.m., a single gunshot shattered the silence. Flashes lit the desert, bodies fell. When dawn broke, 5 lay dead, including Carlos Mendoza. Javier Ruiz was gone. The files he carried vanished. Welcome to Latin Shadow's Mysteries. Tonight, on this final day of 2025, we uncover the full story of the Shadow Cartel, an unsolved conspiracy that infiltrated the heart of America. A tale of betrayal, hidden power, and secrets that 15 years later are finally clawing their way into the light. Stay until the very end, because what you're about to hear may change how you see the world around you. Let's go back to where it all began, when everything still seemed possible. Javier Ruiz wasn't just any informant. He had risen high in the cartel's trust, mapping routes that moved not only drugs, but money. Billions washed through American banks. His DEA handler, Agent Robert Hale, called him the Golden Source. The group that night included Maria Lopez, a young mother escaping violence, 2 teenagers dreaming of school in America, and Carlos Mendoza, the engineer whose laptop held spreadsheets linking cartel money to U.S. shell companies. They reached the Arizona side just after midnight. Javier's contact was supposed to meet them at an abandoned ranch, but something felt wrong. Javier kept checking a burner phone that never rang. At 2:17 a.m., headlights appeared, not from the ranch, but from the desert behind them. Military-grade rifles, American calibers. The first bullet struck Javier in the shoulder. He fell, clutching the USB drive. Maria Lopez later told investigators she saw him crawl toward a dune, blood trailing in the sand. 5 migrants died instantly. Carlos Mendoza took a shot to the chest. His laptop shattered beside him. When Border Patrol arrived hours later, they found a scene staged to look like a cartel hit. But the bullets recovered, traced to weapons from the ATF's own Fast and Furious operation, guns the U.S. government had deliberately allowed to walk into cartel hands. Maria Lopez, one of only 3 survivors, whispered to the first agent on scene. Javier said he had proof that could take down powerful people on both sides of the border. Javier's body was never found. The USB drive? Gone. The official report? Cartel enforcement action. Case closed. But the questions had only begun. The FBI and DEA launched Operation Phantom Border. Lead agent Robert Hale, a veteran who had lost partners to cartel violence, believed this was bigger than a simple crossing gone wrong. Maria Lopez's testimony changed everything. She described Javier's final words. If anything happens to me, the drive goes to Hale. It shows the shadow network, Americans taking cartel money to keep the routes open. Hale dug deeper. In 2011, an anonymous package arrived at his office. Photos of Javier meeting a man in San Diego days before the crossing. The man, a mid-level ATF supervisor linked to Fast and Furious. Ballistic reports confirmed the weapons used that night were part of the same batch the U.S. government had allowed into Mexico. Hale followed the money trail to Chicago, Sinaloa's American hub. Bank records showed monthly payments of $50,000 to a congressman's aide, routed through shell companies tied to Javier's old contacts. But in 2016, everything stopped. Hale was suddenly reassigned. Files were reclassified. Sources went silent. Maria Lopez vanished from witness protection in 2018. The last survivor from that night was found dead in 2020, ruled suicide, though his family insisted he feared for his life. A note left behind read, "They're everywhere. The shadow doesn't die." Now we enter the heart of darkness, the theories that turn this case from tragedy to national threat. Theory 1, the double agent. Javier wasn't a victim, he orchestrated everything, a triple agent playing DEA, cartel, and someone else. The shooting? Staged. He's living comfortably somewhere with the money he siphoned. Sightings of a man matching his description in Miami luxury condos as recent as 2023 fuel this theory. Theory 2, government complicity, the Shadow Alliance. U.S. agencies needed the cartel routes open for intelligence. Javier became too dangerous when he documented American involvement. The ambush? Sanctioned to silence him. Leaked 2022 cables mention acceptable collateral in border operations. Theory 3, the corporate web. American defense contractors and pharmaceutical companies profited from the endless war on drugs. Chaos at the border meant bigger budgets. Javier's files threatened to expose how cartel money funded political campaigns that kept the war going. Theory 4, the most terrifying, the Shadow Cartel 2.0. In 2025, new leaks suggest the network evolved. Using cryptocurrency and AI-driven money laundering, the infiltration is deeper than ever. Javier, if alive, may be the only one who knows how to stop it. This year, 2025, changed everything. In June, a DEA whistleblower released audio allegedly recorded in 2019. Javier's voice, weak but clear. The network controls Washington. They'll never let the truth out. In October, a congressional report quietly acknowledged cartel infiltration of federal agencies, with direct references to unsolved 2010 border incidents. In November, Maria Lopez resurfaced in an anonymous interview. She claimed Javier contacted her, alive, hidden in Texas, holding new evidence of digital money trails worth billions. The FBI has quietly reopened Phantom Border, but sources say agents are being watched, blocked, silenced. As we close 2025 tonight, one truth remains. The Shadow Cartel didn't die in the desert, it grew. The Shadow Cartel is not just a story from 2010. It is America's ongoing nightmare, a reminder that borders aren't the only things being crossed. Javier Ruiz, ghost, hero, or traitor, represents every secret we choose to ignore. But tonight, as we end this year, let us remember, truth doesn't die in the desert, it waits. What do you believe? Is Javier alive? Is the Shadow Cartel real and growing? Comment your theory below. I read every single one and reply to the best. Subscribe to Latin Shadows Mysteries for the stories that matter. Turn on notifications. 2026 will bring even darker revelations. Thank you for spending this final night of 2025 with us. And remember, the shadows hold secrets, but the truth always finds a way. Happy New Year. Stay vigilant.